Hey folks, 30th of January. I thought I'd make a few extra videos this point in time. See the taxation camera over on the right there? I don't know if you can see it. Just a GAT, so I'm sure it works because they have actually renewed the lines on the road. So I just wanted to talk a bit more about taxation and whatever. I've recently stopped contracting for a good reason. The contract work started to dry up back in 2008. I'm an engineer, by the way, mechanical engineer, and the work dried up because the banksters collapsed their own banks through fraud, and rather than bailing out, letting all the banks go bankrupt, which is what they should have done. What should have happened is the government should have stepped in and nationalised all the banks overnight, so that the assets of normal people, real people, were protected. That didn't happen. They started printing money and then they gave it to all their mates to prop up the banks. The banks then gave that to all their mates, and this is why you've got so many houses going up all over the place. Because what the idea is that the Bank of England borrows the money, which is a private bank, by the way, privately owned. That lends the money to the government in the form of bonds. And then the banks dish it out to all their mates, supposedly to get the economy going again. Well, that didn't happen. Basically, all the councils are forced to kick all their tenants out, sell off their council houses, and give them to housing associations. And loads of money was given to the UK building industry. Sorry about the windscreen again, the road's covered in crap, if you can imagine, it's salt. So basically all the money that went into their mates' pockets, you know, Wimpy and McAlpine, I guess, and all those other massive building companies, they basically got rich out of it, and we're left holding the baby, you know, and I could see that happening again. So I thought, right, because I was out of work for 10 months in 2008. There wasn't any contract work around. And luckily enough, we had a little bit put aside and we were very frugal, and I managed to just land a really, really crap PAYE job, which got us out of shit. And then I fell out with the boss there, and went back contracting again. And I've been like that ever since. But I can see it happening again. But what I really wanted to talk about is the paper-based reality that they live in, that's so dangerously left-brained. They can't even comprehend change, and they're so scared of change that they have to legislate over and over again, and more and more and more. Which sort of leads back to the video that I made yesterday, which I'm going to post in a minute when I get home. It was processing, I left it processing. So their paper-based reality says that they can steal a load of my sweat equity, and that's what they do. I've had 2 pay packets now, and I did loads of overtime last month, and basically almost all of that's gone. Now, I've never consented to paying tax like that. They would argue that by taking a PAYE job and signing the various forms that you've got to get a PAYE job, that you've agreed to a contract between you and HMRC. But, oh, come on. Um, but that's basically saying sign or starve, isn't it? It's that fear factor again. It's that paper-based reality. I've got authority over you because you've signed the contract. Well, that's perfectly correct in UCC, which is Uniform Commercial Code, which is what governs all contract law in the world, which happens to be 300 yards from the Vatican, go figure. But in the real world, they've actually put that contract system in place as well, and they've put all of this paperwork in place to force you into a position where you've got no choice but to sign their paperwork. Because they'll either come round, smash your head in, steal your stuff and throw you in a cage, or they won't give you any money, or you can't earn any money, and then you'll starve. So most people would elect not to starve, I think. So this poisonous, fucked up system that we live in, this paper-based reality, is just disgusting. It's abhorrent to nature. It's certainly abhorrent to me. You know. And I've got no qualms about saying I'm an anarchist, and in the true sense of the word, not communist, not somebody who likes to go around and smash up shops and dish out hate all the time and promote communism. A real anarchist. And all anarchy means is no masters, no slaves. Everyone's equal. Right? And that doesn't necessarily mean everybody's got the same amount of stuff. It means that everybody's got the same inherent rights that you were born with, that the paper-based reality doesn't accept exists. You know, they'll tell you that you're not born with any rights. The only rights that you've got are the ones that they decide you've got. That's what jurisdiction means. When they say, oh, you're in our jurisdiction, if you look at the Latin, a jurisdiction, there's two words in Latin, and it basically means we say what the law is. You know, people say, oh, if you don't vote, you've got no right to complain. Well, I would say that that's the other way around, as is in all Satanism. Because if you haven't voted, then you haven't put these Satanists in power. Therefore, you're the one with clean hands, not them. You know, why would you think that somebody who hasn't engaged in the system can't complain about it? That's the usual crap that people come out with, and yet they haven't actually sat and thought about what they're saying. Because all of these satanic stuff is all upside down, and so right is wrong, left is right. You know, there's always that paradigm. So I just wanted to, you know, just sort of reiterate that if you can, you've got to stand up for yourselves. You've got to say no to their paper-based reality as much as you can, without getting your face smashed in and getting thrown in a cage, because they will. They're you know, it's not the people who make up this crap and write it on pieces of paper. It's the people enforcing it who are the real Satanists. And what they don't realise is that they're that stupid. They don't realise that just because somebody gives you a costume and weapons that you're going to avoid any kind of karmic consequences. And that just isn't the case. If you know, if you think about it like this, somebody in Westminster writes a law that says you've got to pay your council tax, and we're going to take 13% of that council tax, we're going to buy bombs with it, and we're going to drop it on Yemen and murder small children, which is what happens. Okay? And bugger, I've lost my bloody train of thought now. I was on a roll then. So yeah, who do you think is going to carry the consequences of that? Now, there'll be a certain amount of negative karma created by the thought processes by which people will then go out and murder children. I'm writing it down. There'll be a certain amount of negative karma for that. But on the other side of the coin, who gets the real bad karma? That's the sad order follower who presses the button to drop the bomb, rather than stopping and saying, hang on a minute, that's not right. I don't really want to murder somebody else's children. I wouldn't want somebody murdering my children. I'm not going to press that button. No, it's just, sir, yes sir. And so, what can you say? But these morons, these order followers, and I'm talking about anybody with a uniform, police, army, navy, whatever, people in councils, MPs, civil service, anybody who supports the system without questioning the morality of what they're being asked or told to do. Basically, there are good people everywhere, and those two people are generally, when they realise what they're doing, they'll walk away because their conscience tells them that no, I shouldn't be murdering these children just because some twat somewhere says go out and murder those children. So yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know what I wanted to say really. I just felt like venting my spleen about this paper rate based bullshit reality we live in. The more people who understand what's going on and start to live like it, then the better we're all going to be. Because it takes a certain amount. The New Age Satanists don't believe that action is necessary, and I actually do. I agree with Mark Passio. I think action is necessary. The universe is the universe is a mental construction. Look into the Hermetic tradition, and therefore whatever we do has come from our mind one way or another, and there is right, there is wrong, and there is consequences. But the New Age will just say no, there's nothing we can do about it, we just got to sit back and accept it. Well, that's just Satanism. Because if what we need to do is we need to start spreading the word, getting people to think about what they're being asked or told to do. And as those people begin to realise, then they'll have an epiphany like I have. You know, it was a while ago now, but I was a statist. When you actually start thinking about it, you realise what an absolute load of evil bullshit it is. And you've got to remember, anarchy doesn't mean without rules, it means without rulers. There are still rules because natural law exists. And the golden rule. And if you live by those, there is no chaos. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that thought. And hopefully I'll have time to post this one tonight after the other one. Anyway, so have a great evening, stay safe, and pray to the creator of the universe, because that exists for all time, that prayer. So, and things will change. Anyway, God bless and take care.